and it's story time with me. I hope everyone is doing well. It was a quiet day at school today, but we survived, and so I wanted to stop in for a quick story today. Again, I'm recording from my craft room. You can see kids' artwork on the back on the walls. That's stuff that my kids have created. So parents, it doesn't matter how old your kids are, it's really nice to have their artwork around your space. So the story that I'm going to read today is one of my favorites and one of the kids' favorites, and it's Pete the Cat and His 4 Groovy Buttons. This story was written by Eric Litwin, and the pictures were drawn by James Dean. Kids, remember, you got to count with me while I'm reading the story. Pete the Cat and His 4 Groovy Buttons. Pete the Cat put it on his favorite shirt with 4 big, colorful, round, groovy buttons. He loved his buttons so much that he sang this song. My buttons, my 4 groovy buttons. My buttons, my 4 groovy buttons. Pop! Oh no! One of the buttons popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? 3, because 4 minus 1 equals 3. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. And he kept on singing his song. My buttons, my 3 groovy buttons. My buttons, my 3 groovy buttons. You know what Pete thought? Groovy. Pop! Oh no! Another button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? 2. Because 3 minus 1 equals 2. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. My buttons, my 2 groovy buttons. My buttons, my 2 groovy buttons. Pop! Oh no! Another button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? 1, because 2 minus 1 equals 1. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. My button, my 1 groovy button. My button, my 1 groovy button. Pop! Oh no! The last button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? 0, because 1 take away 1 equals 0. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. Pete looked down at his buttonless shirt, and what do you think he saw? What did Pete see? His belly button. And he kept on singing his song. My button, still have my belly button. My button, still have my belly button. I guess it simply goes to show that stuff will come and stuff will go. But do we cry? Goodness, no. We keep on singing. I love Pete because Pete just has this attitude that, you know what, we just keep strolling along and things will be okay. And so in this time when it's crazy in this world, just remember that we just keep on rolling on and it's going to be okay. So until next time, I love you. Bye.